Imagine buying your dream concert tickets to your favorite performer. You've got great seats, a great group of friends going with you, and best of all, it's in Las Vegas. You prepare for weeks picking out the perfect outfit, booking a luxury hotel, and imagining what it's going to be like when you actually get there. The day you all get there, you're so excited. But in the middle of the concert, the unthinkable happens. A gunman opens fire and there is mass pandemonium. 59 fatal casualties and over 500 are injured. These types of scenarios are what Elise Boulding spent the majority of her life advocating against. Boulding, a nominee for a Nobel Peace Prize in 1990, is an advocate of a peace culture, a strong supporter for peace starting within the family, and a supporter of NGOs, or non-governmental organizations. Elise Boulding was a proponent of a peace culture. She believed the main point about a culture of peace is that it deals creatively with conflict and difference, and it is a listening culture. She once said, "We learn war and we learn peace. The culture of peace is something which is learned, just as violence is learned, just as a culture of war is learned." Boulding considers that difference and conflict resolution begin with a deep appreciation for difference. She says there will always be difference, and we must learn how to deal with it peacefully. Any group of people that are truly listening with their hearts are practicing a peace culture. Boulding believes women should have a strong role in peacemaking. She says women are great listeners naturally, which make them an excellent candidate for becoming involved in peacemaking. Women in Africa, Asia, and especially Sri Lanka have come together to hold up their own peacemaking practices. They are going into villages and they are saying, "We know how to fix this." They are successfully disarming militias and guerrillas. Elise Boulding believed that peace starts within your own family. She spent 18 years at home, and in her interviews with Julian Portilla, she states that her most valuable experiences come from at home observing her own family and children. From observing her own family, Elise learned that strong families and early education of children in nonviolent problem solving were significant assets in humanity's defense against a trigger-happy future. In her interview with Dr. Chris Mitchell, Elise talks about her and a group of friends from Ann Arbor and how they set up a program to teach their children peace and conflict resolution. Elise Boulding believed that children were a vital part of peacemaking and any peacemaker should have children involved. Elise opposed that peace started in the classroom. She was a proponent for community-based ways of learning. These types of learning activities that draw children into the community teaches them to appreciate all the community's resources. It also gets adults involved. This is how a peace culture starts with children. Elise felt like we needed an intensification of our special school programs about conflict resolution, peer mediation, and conflict transformation. Elise Boulding was also an advocate for NGOs, or non-governmental organizations. NGOs are typically organizations that are committed to a specific cause or for doing good in the world. Sometimes these are known as charities or nonprofit organizations. Elise, as a professor, felt that her students should learn the best about peacemaking and conflict resolution by experiencing it firsthand. So she would assign them to a local international NGO. The students would also do an internship with the local NGO and where they would learn about what she was lecturing over in class. She stated that her students would always be so excited in actually being able to see what she was lecturing over. Most of the time, the students would end up teaching the local chapter about their global outreach levels because of their excitement and involvement. Elise had faith in the importance of individual community and the global links and believed that NGOs would help the world community reach its peak efforts in peace. Elise believed that NGOs had extreme capacities in peacemaking and building a peaceful world order. The beginning of a peace education movement can be traced to the development of women's NGOs. NGOs now deliver more aid than the United Nations system. It looks like she was right. I'm sure the loved ones of the Las Vegas shooting wish we would have listened a little more to the words of Elise Boulding. Her desire for peace denoted every aspect of her life. Even once she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, she continued to build cultures of peace until the day she passed. She once said, "There is no time left for anything but to make peace work a dimension of our every waking activity." Elise Boulding believed that she could help create a world of peace through her culture of peace listening attitude, her advocacy of peace starts within the family, and her strong support of NGOs.